Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
Well, here it is, summertime. We're spending a lot of time outside, having parties, just gathering. You want that to be an inviting spot, one that's comfortable. You can design it that way. We're going to talk about outdoor living spaces. Now, we've talked to her before about the interior. She's an interior designer, but I guess she's also an exterior designer. I don't even know if that's a term, but I'm going to go with that today. She is Sandy Schuster, and it's Rooms by Sandy, decorating den interiors. And today it's exteriors. And she's back with us. Welcome. How are you?
I'm good, Steve. How are you?
I had no idea that you also take care of the outside. So very interested to learn what we can do and some ideas. What's a starting point? We look at our backyard and we want to make it inviting. We want to make it comfortable. Where do you begin with that?
Well, I mostly do interiors, but probably my favorite rooms are outside of the house. And that's outdoor patios, porches, your front door. I had some pictures I'd love to show you if you want to look at those.
I love your pictures. Let's do it.
Okay. Yeah, everything. I'm very visual, so okay. Okay, can you see my screen?
Sure can.
Okay, so this is a cute little house and had a great a great slab of cement out front. And really cute house, but I just think it needed to be more of an outdoor room. My name of my company is Rooms by Sandy. So as far as I'm concerned, your outdoor space can be a room. So did several things to this home. First of all, put this pergola on the front with a little picket kind of fence around it with a gate to kind of define the space.
Very nice. Very, very warm. Very like you just want to be close to sunset sitting on that porch area.
Right. And it is shady in the evening. And changed the door. And I think last week we talked a lot about color, changing the color. And some of my clients are afraid of color. In fact, the new trend is one of my real estate friends. She says the new trend, if you want to sell your home, is white. Make it white and neutral.
Wow.
And I think if you're afraid to use color, don't be afraid to use it outside, because especially in this, in the summer months here in Denver, we get a lot of beautiful sunshine here all the time. But I think it's the time to not be afraid to play with color.
Didn't hear that about the make it white. But interesting, because who's going to say I don't like that color? Because
right.
it's almost like a clean slate. Although I am seeing more and more homes with interesting colored front doors, like red or an orange door. Have you seen that?
Yes. In fact, I was going to talk about that. Some of my slides show just changing the color of your front door can make a big difference. This is actually more of a close-up of the front patio.
Wow. Okay. So I just want to tell you, looking at the other pictures, it looked inviting. Now even more. And from the perspective of the previous picture, I didn't realize how much space was there.
Right. Yeah, you can sit 4 people here comfortably. And another big I think things you have to do when you have an outdoor space is do outdoor area rugs. This is 2 rugs and it fills up most of the space, but it's polypropylene, so they're outdoor rugs. So you can hose them off. You can blow, they're just easy to care for. After probably 3 to 4 years, they might start wearing down and fraying, but you can leave them out during the winter months, and they just make it a soft place for your feet, and they make it feel like a room instead of just a cement patio.
Sure. And I experienced that in the backyard with a rug. And it was about the same time you're saying, 3, 4-ish years in there that it's a little bit aware. My biggest challenge was keeping it clean because you hose off the patio and then stuff now goes onto the rug. You hose that off, you get mildew on the rug forever. I'd be out there, scrubbing it with different solutions like vinegar and borax and all of that. Never had much success in getting it super clean after a number of years, but I think you answered it in that you can't. It's about the expectations.
Right.
Don't expect more than 3 years.
Yeah. I also think it's wise to invest in a battery operated leaf blower, and you can just blow off the dust and dirt so you don't have to hose it off.
Sure.
I mean, here in Denver, it dries out. We're so dry, but invest in one of those that's worth it. Instead of sweeping, just blow all the dirt and grime off so that it doesn't stay on the rug and ruin it. So
yeah. So, again, back to the expectations. You can't expect it to last that long.
Yeah. And here are some other shots of it. And then, that front door was just kind of blocking the energy and just kind of, so just here's you can see how the door, let's see. That's probably that better picture of, but it has, you can see through it and it just brings more light into the home, and it just also brings, I think, more interest to the home itself.
Love it. Yeah. And even the storage area, if you want to call it that, in that one picture, you have a seating section there too, but you can also use it for other stuff, or the cushions.
You can sit on there, and you can also throw the cushions in there when it rains or snows.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So charming. Looks just like you just want to be there.
Yeah. Yeah. And then this is just the, put a window box under the window, and, just to kind of give it a little more character instead of just a plain facade.
What are those things to the left and right of the window that, sort of look like shutters? What are they called?
I'm not sure what they're called. They're called a wood and a metal accent piece.
Was that there, or did you put that there?
We put it there. Yeah,
Cool.
just to give it, shutters, it just seemed like it needed a little bit of, it kind of matches the swirls on the door. And I think if you look back on this picture, it gives it some interest and kind of balances out. Yeah.
Very much so. Yeah. It's like a perfectly put together package, in just a small area. You've got a lot going on there, but it's all just what's needed.
Right.
Love it.
Yeah. And this is a back patio that had a lot of great greenery, a nice yard. Just wanted to make it more kind of usable, and again, kind of pretty it up a little bit with, of course, an area rug. So this is a different shot of it, but it's the same patio, but here's the area rug again that I think is really important. And then we put a built-in barbecue grill here with a countertop so that that could be enjoyed. And then the homeowner also put up a fence here. So while they've got rid of a lot of the greenery, it's kind of like trees that you didn't want growing in your yard, planted some other things in the yard that just gave it some interest. Things that the bees love and the pets love and that type of thing.
Like you just
and
want
then
to
comfortable seating. I mean, this seating is okay, but I really like, and there's actually 4 chairs that go around this coffee table. I really like it when you eat outside to kind of eat around a coffee table. It's a little more informal, and you can kind of sit back and cross your legs and then put your plate on or drink on the coffee table.
And the other patio set, it gets the job done, but it's kind of best description, cookie cutter. It's just nothing really custom. It's just we went to one of the big box stores and took it out of the box, put it together, slapped it down. It'll get the job done, but this just adds so much more warmth.
Right.
And
And this is the other shot of the backyard. Again, it was kind of like a fishbowl where, it was not a lot of privacy and, but still a nice backyard, but just to give it a little more privacy, the privacy fence that was put up, and then other seating, and that's a little, this is a little fire pit here as well.
Right.
But again, flowers are colorful. If you're afraid of color, don't be afraid to use color outside.
These things, and I want your feedback on it, doesn't look like it's going to break the bank. It's more about the strategy behind it, your eye for it, the design. And once you know what your expectations are, you know where you're going with it. Yeah, there's some expense, but it's not, to what I think somebody might think it might cost when they just want to change up their backyard and make it more livable.
Right. Probably putting up the fence was the biggest expense. But then, the rest of it is just kind of cosmetic, but also comfortable and just kind of pulling it all together.
So I feel I should share this at this point. And there's a reason I'm going to share this. I renovated a backyard, just sold this house a couple of years ago, in between houses now. I've shared with you. When I moved into this house, the backyard had a bunch of trees. It was just like scrubby brush. Wiped it all out, put in a pool, patio, pergola, just full on. Even dug some of the trenches because I love doing that, electrical stuff. Managed the project, but here's my point to all of it. It gave me an ulcer. Legit. I
shouldn't be laughing. Sorry.
I was working very early hours and had for decades. I'm still doing that. Then you got the kids, then you got the backyard, running a business as well, add all of that. But a lot of it was the backyard because there's a lot of expense there. Want to make sure it's done right. I never done it before. How do I know what I'm doing? So a real ulcer to the point where I went to the hospital. Not even kidding. On my birthday.
Oh, that's not good.
No. So I'm bringing this up because if anybody's considering, I'm going to do a renovation myself, I'll take care of it. All right. Well, I wish you all the best. But that's why you might want to hire a professional to be the eyes, potentially even monitor the project, whatever the case may be. Looking back at all of this and even changes I made with houses along the way, hear me out. I will always hire. Okay, Sandy, when I find a house, you're getting a call. And I'm still, I'm looking at houses from time to time. Just where I am is not a lot of inventory, and the market's not the best right now. But yeah, it'll pop up. I'm waiting, but I won't do it. Even the interior, just like it's
right.
Let somebody else do it. That's the way it should be done because the outcome is going to be much better and less stress. Why do you want stress? What's your what's your health and everything valued at? So
right. I can definitely help with the design plan and then help with finding the tradespeople to actually do the work. That's probably the biggest challenge right now, but I don't use people that haven't done a good job for me in the past.
Yep. So. But if it's not let's say somebody works with you on a virtual level and they're not, in the Colorado area, the questions to ask of tradespeople, even though you haven't met them. And of course, your client would know that. But how do we all know what to ask them? I don't know.
Right.
Kind of wing it,
Right.
And that doesn't necessarily always yield the best results. So loving the pictures. Do you have any other ones?
Yeah, I do. So you ask lots of questions and check references.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So here's another one, putting color again. I think it really can brighten up your front porch. And then we talked initially about just changing up the color of the front door. And this was, I think, Hamilton blue that just gave it, kind of coordinated with the area rug and just gave it just a nice, well put together look.
It's interesting how colors resonate. So when I see those colors right away, I'm like, yeah, feels good. That's my jam, as they say, right there. Those colors, I would pick those in a heartbeat.
Yeah. Well, you like the blue, but offset it with a little bit of pink and red colors to kind of give it again, don't be afraid to play with color on your outside rooms.
For sure.
And here's
Wow.
another, again, just the, changing up the door, just adds a pop of color, putting shutters on windows, window boxes. These were kind of I found these at like an antique store, and I thought they would be nice to frame the door. Just to give it to kind of pull it all together and give your brain something really nice to look at, and it feels good.
When I look at that, it almost reminds me of a picture of a home in another country.
Yeah, this is actually the backside of a garage, and yeah, it looks like a little like carriage house or
Yeah, cottage.
a cottage.
Yeah.
Yeah, so why not make it look like it's a cottage, even though it's just a dirty old garage?
Sure, but it's got charm.
Yeah, yeah,
Very nice.
yeah. So I think that's all for my pictures, but
When you're designing and somebody comes before you and said, "Yeah, I just want to make it more inviting," where do you start? Is there a starting point? Is it like, let's say, the area where people are going to be eating? Let's tackle that one first. Like, what is there a priority list?
well, when somebody says they want it to be more inviting, that's kind of really broad. So, tell me more about what you mean by inviting. And yes, what would you like to do in this space? Would you like to eat here? Do you want to cook here? Do you want, will you read here? Will you play with kids in this space? Because that will really kind of dictate what you want to put in that space. Most of the spaces that I showed you were places to just hang out, enjoy a meal, maybe enjoy a cold drink, have some conversations so the furniture is comfortable to sit in. So yeah, just asking lots of questions, how they use the space.
So you just popped a memory in my brain here about the expectations. And when I did that backyard, I put up a pergola, just like, I was looking at the photo you had. This was a plastic one. Bought it at Costco, like $1,200, something like that. And it's got some footings that they're not even in the cement. It's just a bracket that's in the paver. And then that holds, a 2x4 where the pergola goes on top of it. They come in to look at the backyard, inspect it, the town does, for the pool and everything else. And they say, "Oh, you have a pergola. You got to pay tax on that." So, yeah. And let's be clear here. If I had a running start, I could knock it down.
I was going to say it might blow away here in Colorado.
Right. It's not a permanent structure, and it's not even a covered, it's the same kind of, rain comes down just for decorative purposes. But yes, I got tax on it. I forget what the rate was, per year. And I even called up a council person in the town who I knew. And I'm like, "Is this right?" She says, "No, that doesn't seem, well, let me check on it." That's when she called me back and she said, "Oh yeah, they're going to tax you on that. And by the way, even if you had a large Rubbermaid deck box, put your cushions in and all of that, that's taxable as well." So I bring this up, just the expectations, not to scare anybody away, but just, be aware that you might get charged depending on your municipality,
I haven't run into that in Colorado.
Good for you.
I don't see that line item in my taxes. I mean, my taxes have gone up, but
yeah,
haven't seen that line item.
I didn't see the pergola tax, but maybe it came under something else. I don't know what the else was, but anyway.
Yeah.
Other thoughts, other final thoughts here when doing design for an outdoor space.
Colors, I think important, making the space how you want to use it. And then if you like the biophilia and the plants, putting things in your space that are native to the location, so that they're low maintenance, you don't have to water them a lot, or using, like those window boxes had a water bladder in the bottom, so you don't have to water them every day or they're gonna die.
Wow.
So thinking of things like that, I mean, you could even put cactus on your front patio if you wanted that are don't require a lot of water, but they
So
require a certain kind of light. So putting the right kind of plants, I think was probably important as well. I think you should have plants outside to kind of complement your outdoor room.
what about, we talked about the rugs. What about the durability of cushions and fabrics and things like that? Like Sunbrella, major brand.
Yes.
But then I've heard that there could be different layers, different tiers of Sunbrella, where if you pay more, it works better. Maybe, doesn't fade as soon. Your overall thoughts on all of that?
Yeah. Sunbrella is definitely a really good product. They have different grades of fabrics.
Okay.
So that can make a difference. The higher the grade, the more you pay for it. But it's a really good product. And eventually it will fade, but it won't fade as quickly. And so, putting them in when you're not using them, like here in Colorado, probably 4 to 5 months of the year, you probably should put them away. You don't want them to get snowed on, and we get so much sunshine. Maybe that's not the best for it, but
Gotcha.
you can also get covers for your chairs that you just put over them, like when it rains or snows, and so that protects them. But most of those fabrics make sure it's an outdoor fabric. That's one of the
Okay.
keys to it.
I'm hearing also that
Yeah.
they have outdoor fabrics that look just like indoor fabrics.
Right,
Like you don't even know the difference now. It's gotten so advanced.
right. They've come a long way
Yeah.
with paint, with fabrics, with
Now, what about
everything's gotten better.
buying resort quality furniture? Do you think it's even worth it?
Well, it could be resort quality, but what do you mean by that? Maybe it doesn't
Just
necessarily mean it's high performance and it's gonna
that's my point.
last.
That's my point.
Yeah.
Like, if
And
you go online and I once looked at umbrellas and yeah, they said, used by resorts and things like that, which, higher price. Is it really that much better?
likely they buy more of a commercial type, so maybe it's more of a canvas instead
Okay.
of a thinner product. But
Hmm.
it could be the color that's just not right for you. It's too light colored and it gets dirty because you have
Yep.
kids or dogs or.
Well,
But usually when it's that, it's also probably going to be really comfortable and you can sit in it a lot because the fabric is judged by how many times you can sit on it, how many rubs. There's a
okay.
certain it's very technical when it comes to fabrics.
Out of my wheelhouse. Call Sandy. While we're talking about fabrics, things, that's how my brain works. You massage the things pop in, memories come up. Just wanted to share this because I wish I knew. Sunshades. Love them. Was at an amusement park. They had sunshades up. I was like, yeah, let me put one of those up between a deck and an area. Just put some shade over there. It was great. Did it for a couple of years. Worked well. Put it into my shed. Take it out the following spring. There's holes in it. Mice got into my shed and ate my sunshade. So mothballs, put something in there, just saying. Nobody thinks about this stuff.
Watch out for stuff like that.
Yeah, like you don't know until you know, and it was kind of costly.
Things
And
like that, they blow away here in Colorado. We just get too much turbulence from the mountains, the winds coming off the foothills. So
yeah, there were some times where it got windy, and I'm a suburb of New York that you'd hear the hardware. I got a little worried. Yeah.
So you need to put some decon in your garage for the mice.
For sure. Who would have thought? How do we find you? What's the best way?
You can email me at sschuster@decoratingden.com or look on my website at roomsbysandy.decoratingden.com or call me 720-885-0019.
Always love the ideas, love the photographs. Thanks for enlightening us on outdoor living spaces. Didn't even know that was something that you did. Yeah, great stuff. Thanks for being here today.
Thanks for having me. Have a good day.
You too. We'll be right back.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.